निम्रत जी यहाँ पे
Thank you.
वेट मैडम वेट
Thank you.
थैंक यू मैडम
Went on to deliver compelling performances across India. International projects include Airlift, Dasmi, Homeland and Foundation. Very layered performances. This is what they've written, Nimrat. I'm just reading it out. But please give it a big hand. And all those who followed Pankaj Tripathi outside are not allowed to come back. Okay, girls.
Thank you, Cyrus. Lovely introduction for the lovely lady that we have today. To start off with, I think women in storytelling, okay, I think has for the longest of the time been around men, played their love interest, and most importantly been that sacrificing character, right? But today, I think that narrative is changing. Women are no longer playing characters who are sacrificing unless and until they feel that that's the requirement. And I think, Nimrat, you've played all of those characters which are strong characters or quietly powerful characters. You know, in silence, I think that character has spoken. You know, that's the kind of space that you've operated in. And most importantly, the topic today that we have is what women want, okay? I genuinely feel that that's the title that we should probably stop talking about, because I think men should know what women want and women should know what women want. And who else to personify this entire bit than Nimrat, because she's played all the lovely characters. I think I was chatting with Nimrat some time back and I told her that I've been a fangirl. I remember the music video that you'd done with that lovely character that you played in that music video with that love interest, I think. And then moving into Tasneem's character and then doing Family Man last that I saw, I think all your characters have stayed with us, you know. Is there something that you see, because you've been working, I think it's been more than 20 years. You started with theatre, music video, you've done international projects, you've done OTT, you've done movie projects, everything. I think I don't know if there is any other platform that would come in, you probably have kind of explored before it becomes a phenomena. I want to understand, do you think as an actor, do you think that industry has changed in terms of the storytelling for women? Has that happened?
Hi, good evening everyone. It's a lovely room to be in here today. Before I answer your question, Geeta, I was actually just, listening to Pankaj sir and just thinking about everything that he was saying. It's such a tough act to follow. I was like, oh my God, I should have gone on stage before him to, this is a tough room to be in right now. But, I really have to say that, just digressing a little bit from what you talked about, I actually started my work life and everything on camera and in life with advertising. So I used to model in print ads and TV commercials and things. And before I became Nimrat Kaur, the actor, I was that Cadbury girl or that Asian Paints girl or the Titan watch ad girl. So I really feel like, everything that, those little bits of experience I have with those 20 seconds of selling a chocolate or a paint or what have you, like, banks and all kinds of, interesting products. That has been my training ground, actually. And then theatre happened, and then movies happened, and all of that. But I genuinely feel so much love and connection for the ad film world. This is something I just wanted to share as an aside. And it's interesting that when I used to go and audition for ad films, for instance, I used to be told, your face is too Western. It's not round enough. or you don't look Indian enough for us to peg you in Indian ad films. I did not understand that at the time, because for me, I wasn't used to looking at my face from the lens or the perspective of something that looks this or looks that. I was like, I'm just here to act. Whatever I'm told to do, I'll do. I'm not making something for men or women or a certain kind of a body type or anything like that. I'm just me. I'm here to do my job. So all of that, and cut to the lunchbox happens because, and I was cast in that because I looked simple and Indian enough. Can you beat that? So everything that you are told is actually a story from the perspective of someone with their conditioning and their perspective. And I feel like what's happened over a period of 20 years that, I've seen the business for now, whether it's advertising or modeling or music videos. I've done a whole bunch of small experimental films as well, short films, all kinds of, little bits of, every format that I could explore, I have explored. And all that I've seen is that when the societal perspective changes, whether it's men or women or filmmakers, writers, anyone, that is when truly, one gets to have fun as a person. And the fact that we continue to talk about women from a perspective where we are like, oh, we need to do better because we are women, that in itself I find redundant. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I feel like these conversations should be boring by now. For everyone. We should just be like, let's talk about something else.
I totally agree.
So the business has changed. It is a great time to be alive. It's wonderful. I get to do really fun things that, one wouldn't have got to do maybe 20 years back. But I also feel that, by the process of elimination, when you decide, यार मुझे ये नहीं करना है, आपके पास वो काम आता रहता है which you want to do. You attract the work that you wish to do.
Tell me something now that you've spoken about brands. I was supposed to segue into it much later, but now that you've spoken about, because your journey started with the advertising world, okay, you've been faced to, I think for us, it's our brands, okay, it's been love brands for us. Tell me something, do you think that campaigns today are speaking to women instead of with women in that, in terms of the boardrooms, while we all talk about the target audience, we talk about that we want to cater a certain campaign to women, do you think that are women part of those decision-making process in that entire bit? Because you worked in the entire bit, you've been faced to those ads. Like Pankaj Sir was just talking about that, I do look at creatives, right? And I do give my point of view. Tell me something, do you think when we're talking to women, when the ad campaigns are made for women, do you think that in those boardrooms is the decision also being given to the women to take that call? Is that happening?
Well, I'm sure it is, because the narratives have become very interesting, and I think that was happening long before all of us started talking about it. I think social media, and there are various platforms where people chit-chat about it a lot now.
Sure.
So conversations have become larger by virtue of there being just bigger platforms where people exchange ideas, you have opinions, everyone has an opinion, everyone has a phone, you can write on all kinds of portals, you can, become viral and important by virtue of one comment you leave somewhere or anything like that, or you can discuss something to no length, and that is what has, I think, put the spotlight on things a lot more. So sure, when there are products which need to be sold to a certain target audience or a certain target gender, the narratives have to be smart, because people also don't really buy into convenient narratives anymore. I feel like when you want to champion a certain gender or a certain part of the country or a certain, a certain segment of the world that doesn't get that much sunshine and light, convenient narratives come up at that time. But do we really normalize them? Are we actually using opportunities with storytelling, with you know, with concepts, making them genuinely a part of us, that is something I wonder about when I see stuff.
I think somewhere we are. I would say that because we are all part of the media and the advertising bit. I think there's a lot of conversations that are happening. I think we all want to work towards it. I think there's a lot of work enough that needs to happen. But I think somewhere we are just there. Tell me something. You worked on campaigns. You worked on a Cadbury campaign. You worked on a Titan campaign also that you spoke to me about. How do you look at when you want to? Probably there are projects that you have, okay, from a movie bit, there's OTT. Do you look at content and then you look at a platform, or platform doesn't matter to you? How do you choose? Because you've done it all. So tell me something that when those script narrations are happening to you, are you asking questions that where is it going to be posted on, or is it going to be a theatrical?
No, I never have. I've always just reacted to a story, whether it's like a 20-seconder or a 30-seconder or a 3-hour film or an 8-episode series. For me, a story is a story, and I've always heard it as an audience member, always. And if it works for me, if I find it entertaining, I'm on. So that's all that really matters, and I feel like, you know, that is what keeps the excitement alive. Just yesterday, I was actually on an ad film set. And, you know, we were discussing the script, and there was a lovely director, you know, we were working for the first time, and he said, you know, this must be just, you know, one of those things where you don't really have to. I said, absolutely not. In fact, it's quite the opposite, because to land a story, to land a narrative within a crisp 20 seconds or a 30 seconds sometimes is much more difficult than when you have the luxury of time, when you have 2 hours or, you know, 8 episodes to tell a story. So I think it's all about being present and being, you know, really invested in wherever you are. You know, whether it's an ad film or a short film or a film or a show. Yeah.
So, okay, so tell me something then when you're picking it, it's obviously that connects with you and you feel that, okay, this is interesting and I should just do it. One thing that you probably consider before signing. Pankaj sir spoke about when advertising, he spoke about पैसे अच्छे मिल रहे हैं तो मैं कर दूंगा. What is that? I'm sure the script is the whole and soul of it, right? Is there something beyond the script also that you look into? Like, you know, we're talking about working conditions, we're talking about the number of hours for work, and it's each to its own. And there's so much of conversation about women doing an 8-hour shift and probably women doing a 4-hour shift, whatever. Is there something that, do you speak your mind on that and you say that this is what I still want? I know that the script is powerful. Is that something that you check into, or it's just the script? What is it?
No, it's not just the script. It's, of course, you know, sometimes the script is not enough. Sometimes you know कि यार ये paper पे इतना exciting नहीं, but the people you're working with, the director, your co-actors, you know, yes, of course, the money matters, absolutely. And then there are passion projects, you know, that come along. Because it's a symbiotic system, you know. Sometimes you do something just for visibility, commerce, which in fact then leads into you being able to lend yourself to a project which doesn't offer you that commercial sort of an outing, and it has a niche audience. But they have you because you have more eyeballs because of the last big commercial success you were a part of, you know. So there are a lot of other things, you know, that matter. Sometimes you just go in blind, knowing that the director, you know, has a bigger vision than you, and he's going to be able to make, you know, a giant feast of a morsel he's given, you know. Yeah. So there's, you just have to have that faith and, you know, hopefully the right combination of everything, but you don't always get that.
Absolutely, I agree with that, because you need that right formula and the right combination of everything. That's magic. Tell me something. You've worked, the last that I've seen you is on Family Man, okay? And you've done it all. What do you think is OTT somewhere, you know, help brought that change in terms of storytelling for women, okay? I mean, are the narratives while they are writing the roles for women have changed in a way? Has that happened? has OTT been one of those platforms that has brought in that change? Because women no longer are those stereotypical ones, right? There are flawed characters, there are emotionally messy characters, and they've been portrayed in the real way of it. You know, you've played those characters, okay? We don't see you in those stereotypical, because your characters are all powerful ones. Do you think OTT has brought that change? Do you think that platform has given that freedom in terms of storytelling?
So the risk-taking appetite has increased because, you know, when you make a show, I actually started my career with OTT in India with The Test Case, which was a series based on a commando, and you know, this girl gets into the army and the difficulties she faces, etc. Right? So it was something that I felt like gave me the opportunity to expand on a part which otherwise you don't get in the movies very easily, because the risk is much higher. You know, you have to think of many other factors. How it's going to fare at the box office. We all know this by now. This is a conversation we've had. You know, everyone knows what the opportunities. Why do you get bigger opportunities on OTT? Not just for women, actually, even for men. I mean, there are so many actors I now know are considered stars in that way that, you know, we understand stars to be, thanks to the OTT. You know, you wouldn't see a mainstream man otherwise play that kind of a part, you know, what he's playing on OTT in the movies. Right. We know actors as stars, and stars are, you know, are interested in doing character parts as they're known to be. I think that OTT, what it's done is that it's taken the focus away from the movies only as an avenue or as an outing for actors, and it's just become a little more fun and relaxed. So everyone can go out there and play a bit. Whether it's a woman or a man or whatever else, you know, you can write more stuff. You can write for people and include narratives and characters that otherwise you can't, you've not been able to in the movies. I've noticed that as an audience member, like not just as an actor. I get to see people on screen that otherwise I didn't get to see. I get to hear of stories, or I get to see worlds and different kinds of characters that otherwise I did not get a foray into.
Yeah, you're right. I think obviously OTT has given birth to a lot of actors which were already there. You know, they were there and they've got that platform. Tell me something. You worked on international project, right? And way before people talk about Cannes and all, you've been there. Okay, that's been the review that you got good reviews around it when you were promoting your film. Tell me something. In India, the way we look at films and the way we work around, how is it different when you work on an international project? Because you've done 2 seasons, right?
वहाँ पे चाय नहीं मिलती है, very simply. वहाँ पे जब भी मैं काम करती हूँ वहाँ पे very simply honestly वहाँ पे ना सेट का जो एटमॉस्फेयर होता है वो बहुत डिफरेंट होता है. वहाँ पे थोड़ी सी जो हम लोग यहाँ पे यार क्या खाएं अभी, क्या मन कर रहा है, थोड़ा बड़ा पाव हो जाए, थोड़ी चाय हो जाए यार, थोड़ा अभी चखना में क्या है, द केटरिंग टेबल इज़ डिफरेंट. तो वहाँ पे थोड़ी सी फॉर्मेलिटी होती है बिकॉज उनका कल्चर वैसा है. हम लोग थोड़ी हमारी अपनी भाषा, हमारे अपने लोग, यू नो, सो आई रियली मिस दैट व्हेनेवर आई वर्क अब्रॉड. एक देखिए क्या है, कल्चरली बहुत अलग है वो लोग, हमारा यहाँ पे कल्चर अलग है बिकॉज यू नो एज इंडियंस वी आर वार्मर, मोर ओपन, मोर आई थिंक मोर बॉइस्ट्रस इन अ वे. वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा कल्चर, यू नो, वी हैव फॉर्मेलिटीज, वी हैव सर्टन प्रोटोकॉल्स, एवरीबडी गोज बाय द बुक. यहाँ पे हम लोग एडजस्ट करके चलते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत एडजस्टमेंट, थोड़ा बहुत ये, अरे यार थोड़ा अभी ये देख लो ना, मैं थोड़ा लेट आ रही हूँ, थोड़ा कुछ कर लो मैनेज, यू नो. तो जो हम लोग आपस में कर पाते हैं यहाँ पे, यू नो, आई यूज्ड टू मिस दैट अ लॉट व्हेनेवर आई वाज अब्रॉड. 6 महीने वन इज, यू नो, working away from your family, friends and loved ones and everything. It's a mixed bag. It's not all you know, like a dreamland. But yes, it is amazing fun because आपको एक अलग तरीके का life और अलग तरीके के लोगों के बीच में काम करके, you know, you get to kind of taste that a little bit, and you live as a local in different countries. I've lived in Vancouver for 5 months, in South Africa for 5 months, in Morocco for 4 or 5 months. Twice for Homeland, once for a show I did in Vancouver. It was a science fiction show for Fox called Wayward Pines. So it's like, you know, you and I think that way my army upbringing really helped, because I was plucked away from school to school, place to place every 2 to 3 years. So it was really fun to use that skill set, if I may call, into my acting life, and that's probably why there are so many of us army girls, you know, in the movies, because हमारा comfort zone एक जगह नहीं होता. We don't have childhood friends, or we don't have those comfort zones. So yeah, it's great fun. I actually enjoy both worlds. It's a different version of me that shows up, but work is work, you know. But I miss our language. I miss, जैसे कि बाहर, for instance, a small something. बाहर लोगों को ना धूप बहुत पसंद है. Yeah. Oh my God, it's summer. I'm waiting to get a tan. It's so great. Okay, lovely, fantastic. But I hate the summer. Who likes it? It's so hot.
It's hot.
इंडिया में summer ही summer है. 6 season तो मतलब मुझे लगता है साल में summer ही होते हैं. बीच में 2 दिन, especially in Mumbai, right? मुंबई में हमारे यहाँ summer ही summer होती. Summer 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 days of rain, and then repeat.
I think currently
So
Mumbai
exactly. So it's like there are those things that you can't relate to, and I used to agree out of politeness. Yeah, I love the summer. Of course, I can't wait to get a tan, and you know, those kind of. So our problems are different. I think our palate is different. I'm just telling you a human side to this. Something that, you know, I have experienced watching myself being on different sets and different countries. So yeah.
Okay, so let's make it fun. If you were the marketer, okay?
If I were a marketer.
If you were a marketer, which would be that one brand that you would want to, you know, work on campaigns and all? So if you're a marketer, one brand that you would want to...
What has the highest budgets? Technically.
Definitely. Okay, suppose if I give you, say, the best of the budgets, then what is that one category that you want to... Is it going to be fashion? Is it going to be food? Is it going to be...
We don't need to sell food in India. No.
सब
I think
खा लेते
हम लोग सब खाने को बहुत पसंद करते हैं. We all love food a lot. What would I like to... What are the other categories? There's jewelry, there's
tech,
clothing, there's tech.
There's tech, there's FMCG, there's auto, there is food, we've spoken about fashion.
You know what?
there's
This is
beverage.
going to be a slightly esoteric answer, but I feel like we need to develop something or work on something which is like a finance product that helps the common man decide what to do with their money. Many times, a lot of us know how to earn the money, but we don't know how to invest it, what to do with it, how do you plan it. So a service or a kind of a vertical or something that needs, you know, that helps a common person like me. You know, I rely on a CA I trust or a financial advisor I trust. But even though I have a commerce background, I have an educational commerce background. I've done my BCom honors in college, but I just don't know how to use that skill set anymore. It doesn't exist actually. So something that makes that accessible, an app or just some service, a product, something that helps the common person figure out what is it the best that they can do with their money management.
I don't know, even if we come it up with the product right now, the markets and Mr. Modi is talking something else. So I think even if somebody is going to advise you, be your best friend. The day-by-day phenomena is changing. So that's going to be a tricky, but definitely I think service is something that is important in that bit, and there will be product, I'm sure there are products. Let's make it fun, okay? Because you spoke about food, you spoke about the entire bit of India and abroad. I'll make it very, very quick in that we'll do a quick rapid fire with you on this. Is it Vada Pav or Delhi ki chaat? Because you've been in Delhi,
Delhi
right?
ki chaat.
No Vada Pav? Bombay is
I may not know Vada Pav, Delhi ki chaat, that's it.
Delhi ki chaat. Delhi ki chaat. Okay. Who's your favorite actor in India?
That's very tough, yeah. That's very tough. There's no one favorite actor. There are too many. I mean, Pankaj Tripathi sir is a very big favorite of mine. Manoj sir, Jaideep. I mean, there are so many of them. I can't.
Okay, let me twist it. Okay, because it's what women want. Tell me something. One women character, or that one woman that you felt that character should have been coming live right now. into that character that you remember? Probably a Madhubala's character or something that one character should have been alive now
As an actor?
as an actor.
As an actor, tough one. So I feel, Sridevi.
She did.
Absolutely. I'm a die-hard Sridevi fan. She's one of the reasons why I wanted to be an actor. So any of her characters, all of her characters, her, she, herself.
I think everyone is a fan of Shri Devi ji. Tell me something. Okay, I'll make it even more quick. Fashion for you. What is fashion? Define fashion.
Fashion for me is not trying to be something you have seen online. Fashion for me is your own personal style, not trying to stay on trend and things like that. To take risks, but with your own mind and your own heart leading the way. That's fashion.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Nimrat. Tell me something. If you were supposed to make a choice, okay, would you choose a life without films, or would it be a life around films? Like I mean, behind the lens or in front of you?
Any day behind me. In
Front.
I mean, behind the camera. Not any day as an actor.
As an actor,
Any day.
you don't want to be behind and directing a film and writing those characters.
It's too tough a job. Oh my God, I don't know how they do it. It's not in my mind at the moment, but I think I have a lot to do, a long way to go as an actor. I've barely scratched the surface, so an actor.
Okay, tell me something. The content currently is evolving every day, right? There's so much of social media chatter that happens, and you spoke early on about maybe anyone can speak their mind and you kind of write stuff and you're so vocal about it. Do you think that in the whole storytelling process of it, do you feel that all of these social medias will play a very important role in communicating a narrative, even for brands and for movies?
If it's authentic to what they're saying, I mean, if the voice is not coming from the point of view of sledging and meanness and just judgments, see, anything that is discussed, when it's done with a fair purpose, I think it's critical and it is in fact constructive. But when it's just done for the sake of bringing something down and being mean and just as clickbait sort of viewership, that doesn't really trade well. It doesn't last well, doesn't last long, and it doesn't benefit anyone. It's just rubbish. We all scroll, we doom scroll, we watch, we share, and then what happens? Nothing happens. Something that clicks with people, it's going to do well either ways, whether it's discussed or not discussed. As social media platforms, when we are talking about any story that comes to our notice, whether it's a movie or an ad, or many times, you see all kinds of things being talked about, right? But it should be done with the purpose of a little dignity, I think, and that is something which I feel is the responsibility collectively of platforms, portals, media houses, all of us who watch stuff. That's really it, actually. Yeah.
Okay, if we have a role play, I'm sure you want to be an actor, but if we have a role play and we make you the meta head of India, okay, what is the one thing that you would probably do in terms of the change, okay, because it's digital, in an era that we are all living in. If we make you if we make you the head of Meta for a day, okay, what is that one change or one thing for women that you will do?
I would make a situation where women are harassed, abused, or sledged absolutely impossible. If I could. That is a magic power I would like to have.
I think we all would love to have it. If that happens, I think if Meta is there, love to. I would just end it up on saying this, that some actors become stars through noise and some become unforgettable with the kind of work they do, which is honesty, and you are that, Nimrat Kaur, for us. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for gracing Brood 2026 for us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
It's
Thank
so
you.
lovely
Thank
to
you
have
very
you.
much for your time. Thank you.
तेरे पावर जाऊं सब के घरे मेरे सांवर हो मैं तो झूम झूम के गाऊं रे मैं तो झूम झूम के गाऊं रे जो रंग गया रंग तेरे पावर जाऊं सब के घरे मेरे सांवर हो मैं तो झूम झूम
He was talking about whatever you want that comes to you. So do you believe in manifestation?
हाँ, of course. The reason for which I believe that I am in Mumbai, being able to live my dream as an actor, is because I manifested it.
मैम अभी हाल ही में हम जैसे आपके चॉइसेस को देख रहे हैं
हाँ
बहुत
जी।
ही डाइवर्स रेंज दिख रहा है फैमिली मैन में हमने देखा आपने एक बॉस लेडी जैसे कैरेक्टर प्ले किया एंड हम बीच में आपको रोमांटिक रोल्स भी देखते हैं
हाँ जी।
स्ट्रॉन्ग कैरेक्टर प्ले कर रहे हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं और कुछ है जो ऐसा जो और प्ले करना चाह रहे हैं And
जी
ये personality
बहुत
पे क्या
कुछ
कहना
है, बहुत 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 कहानियाँ हैं, बहुत सारी तरीके की जॉनर्स हैं, बहुत कुछ है। रोमांटिक कॉमेडीज़ हैं, हॉरर कॉमेडीज़ हैं, कितना कुछ है अभी करने के लिए। बट येस डेफिनेटली मैं कुछ अभी नया शुरू करने वाली हूँ। जब समय आएगा तो हम उसके बारे में
है
बात
मैम
करेंगे।
ये जो रेंज आप दिखा रहे हैं
जी।
इसके लिए कुछ एक्स्ट्रा हार्ड वर्क कर रहे हैं अपने एक्टिंग स्किल्स पे क्योंकि बहुत ही लोग को इम्प्रेस कर रहे हैं आप अपने character
एक्चुअली
से।
पता है क्या होता है, जब आपके सामने एक अच्छी सी कहानी आती है, देयर इज़ अ वंडरफुल डायरेक्टर, बढ़िया को एक्टर्स होते हैं, तो आपको आपका काम बहुत आसान हो जाता है। देयर इज़ नथिंग यू नीड टू डू, यू जस्ट मेक श्योर दैट यू रीच द सेट ऑन टाइम, यू नो योर लाइन्स, एंड बाकी सब फिर मैजिक वहीं पे होता है बेसिकली।
If you was not an actor, what you want?
आई वुड बी इन द ट्रैवल वर्ल्ड समवेयर। मुझे घूमना फिरना ट्रैवल करना बहुत पसंद है। मैं किसी की वेट नहीं करती हूँ। जब भी मुझे कहीं जाना होता है मैं प्लान्स बनाने की वेट नहीं करती हूँ, बस मैं तुरंत टिकट्स बुक करके आई जस्ट लीव। सो आई लव ट्रैवलिंग अ लॉट। आई डोंट आई फील लाइक सोलो ट्रैवल समटाइम्स इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गिवन दैट इन आवर वर्क वी आर ऑलवेज सराउंडेड बाई पीपल। तो अपनी एक सोल को थोड़ा सा एक मौका देने के लिए कि यू कैन ब्रीद रिलैक्स डू योर ओन थिंग। मुझे हाइकिंग ट्रैवलिंग ट्रैकिंग बहुत मज़ा आता है, तो मैं शायद ट्रैवल बिजनेस में कुछ कर रही होती।
मैम मैं अंदर आपको भी सुन रहा था तब मैं सुन रहा था कि इंटरनेशनल एंड नेशनल में जो हमारे इंडस्ट्री है उसमें कितना फ़र्क है। तो
जी।
ऐसी कोई एक चीज़ है जो हमें अडेप्ट करनी चाहिए सीखनी चाहिए वेस्टर्न कल्चर और वहाँ के शूटिंग स्टाइल से।
आई थिंक वहाँ पे जो पंक्चुअलिटी एक है वो बहुत अच्छा एक वर्च्यू है। शायद मैं आर्मी बैकग्राउंड से आती हूँ तो इसलिए मुझे उसमें बहुत मज़ा भी आता है जब सब लोग अपने टाइम से काम करते हैं। तो वो एक चीज़ हम उनसे ज़रूर सीख सकते हैं, और हमें उन्हें हमसे चाय बनानी सीखनी चाहिए।
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू।